I like to actually begin to talk about a Buddhist text. One of the texts I like, actually I like lots of texts, so this not necessarily, mean anything to some people who know me. But anyway, one of the texts which I think is very useful, and maybe that text is also something actually helpful for us to understand something about religion as well. I'm sure that some of you might be just know that, I think maybe not long ago, maybe less than hours ago, right? I guess. So there was a bomb in Boston. So when they're doing this, the marathon, in every year in this time, during the Patrick Day, I think in Boston, so they do run this international marathon. And then it looks like there were 2 bombs there, and at least 2 people were dying, confirmed already. And then maybe, well, at first they say about 30-something people, got hurt, admitted to the hospital, but some say 100 people already. So, and some actually lost their arms and so and so, okay. I think maybe this is also a good time we can address some of the religious issue. I'm not here to say anything about what the cause, I don't know, and it's not up to me to talk about that, but I just want to say that also one of the things that sometimes in America, there's something that we can learn many things from America, and one of the things is that if you live in Asian country, or maybe in Middle East country or some other countries, they have a very long tradition in their religion. And definitely, everybody understand that the tradition is a beautiful thing, but also there's a problem with the people when they have extreme view about their tradition, okay? So perhaps the best I can begin to talk about a text, and also this text can also somehow to show and how Buddhists actually look, understand from the very basic of what the religion is about. And of course, the text I'm going to talk about certainly have direct relationship to what we have practiced today also, okay? Well, the text is called Kalama Sutta. Maybe some people heard about that, And why it's called Kalama? Because it's a group of people, they have kind of race, or kind of ethnic. So because they live in a certain area, and it's supposing that because they have a long hair, and that kind of custom, they retain a long hair, in India, in a certain part of India. So, and they call themselves the Kalamas. And this area, people are very unique. They have a special, they're unique in a way because they live in a place not very far away from the holy place. So, in other words, this group of people, they can have lots of chance. They could have a lot of chance to meet a lot of holy people. And the people, before they go to stay in the forest, or people when they finish their practice in the forest, and before they go back to their hometown, they will stay over a day or 2, from that village. So because of that reasons, so those people feel confused. Why they got confused? They were confused because every time when this practitioner go to the forest and they leave the forest, or before they enter in the forest, they always proclaim one thing. They proclaim that I found the truth, and my truth is the right one, and the other truth was not the right one. I'm the one who found the only one. I'm the one who's the only one that is right. Do you find this is very familiar language? So it happens even nowadays, actually, especially when you live in America, or not necessarily, even actually in Taiwan, you could be able to hear that. So the people telling you that, I found the only truth, but the other people do not say something about the truth, but I'm the only one found the right one. So of course, they are not just this group of people, as I say, given they live in such a good place, they met so many different so-called holy men, holy people, and they don't know how to make the decision. Okay? Now, until the day the Buddha just lived there also. And then when they know that Buddha lived close by them, and they heard that, everybody say the Buddha is one of the persons, are the wisest persons, are the most powerful, in their wisdom. So, and they would like to hear what the Buddha said. In the text, actually, it's very clear. The Buddha, it's very clear to indicate that the people who go to see the Buddha, none of them, not all of them respect the Buddha. Because in the Buddhist text, the way they show that is, some when they saw the Buddha, they just stand aside. Some they saw the Buddha, they close a palm, as an Indian tradition mean, hi, something like that, like namaste, like this way, okay? And some actually, they just keep the hand in this way. Actually mean they stand in a like suspicious way. Who this person? Maybe that's the same kind of holy man also. Might be say the same thing. And some, of course, they respect the Buddha very much, and they would just prostrate to the Buddha, keep their forearm, on top of the Buddha's feet. And that's a way to show that they highly respect to that person. Anyway, then they all sat down later on. So that's how they begin a question. The question is the same question. They say, every time when there's holy people come up from a forest or before entering the forest, they tell us that they found the truth. They are the only right one. How are we get perplexed, we're confused. How can we decide which one is right, which one is wrong? And this kind of similar question actually happened in the Pali text, in the several texts, but the most, I would say the most vivid explanation would be in this Kalama Sutta. Do you expect how the Buddha answered? Do you expect the Buddha say, all these people are foolish people. I'm the only wise one. Or do you think that the Buddha will say, you're such a blind person. Why you ask me this question? You ask the wrong person, I'm the most powerful one. No, actually at that time, the Buddha, according to the Pali version said, the Buddha said, you're asking a good question. And then it is completely understandable you will have such a doubt in your mind about this. Now, I begin to say that something interesting. And then the Buddha say, actually, first you have to learn. If you're really into religion, when you come to a situation, you don't know what is right and what is wrong. And I definitely believe that this is my comment. Believe that actually, this is actually the same way how I learn Buddhism. And I need to give you a little background of myself. I don't believe Buddhism, not because my parents, not because people told me, not because I was forced to, and not because I was scared of anything, okay? But yes, it's true, when I was younger, I did look for religion. I want to know what religion is good for me. Because I felt, when you're young, you just lost the way, you don't know what to do. And especially I'm not a good student. I don't study very well. And I just don't know if I finish my high school, really, what can I do? And I knew that I'm not a good kind of, in Chinese mean I'm good kind of material that I can be like a very educated person. I always think I'm not very, very smart person. I always think that, okay? Anyway, that's the story also. Now let me tell one story also before I say the story. Why I always think that? I kind of defend myself, okay? I always say that is because, actually, when I was younger, just like you, when you do a meditation, some people say, oh, they saw a little, crystal out in here. They saw a little ruby or the color thing, small one, it become bigger, something like that. When I was a kid, actually, that's how I used to see when I close my eyes. But however, I always think I saw the ghost, okay? And that's why I always cry. And I call my father. I saw a ghost. Of course, my fate will be, my father will blame me. What? Where's the ghost? Okay? And I remember, well, actually, it happened all the time. When I just close my eye, I feel relaxed. Like sometimes when you feel tired, and it just appears. And that's the reason why I always call that as the ghost without a head. Okay, in Chinese, 无头鬼. Mean because I want to see how the ghost looks like. Because my father did not believe me, I saw the ghost, but I never can see how it looks like. But you imagine, I get scared because I thought I really believed myself. I did saw the ghost. Okay, but somehow I also knew the ghost is so wonderful. When I close my eye, I feel nice, but the ghost can. Okay. Right. Now, the thing it is, so actually it looks like a small matter, but somehow because my father never actually believed me that I told them I saw the ghost. Yeah, actually I did see the ghost afterward, so I didn't tell my father that time. Maybe he would believe. I'm just joking, okay? Maybe not joking. But I want to say that for these particular reasons, okay, and I just felt my life something missing. It's very funny. When you're a child, it's something happened to you all the time, and then you found that your father would not believe you. And then you don't know how to explain that. And you couldn't find out what it is about. And you also found your life is just like, somehow you're just like missing something. And I don't know whether it's true, but I still believe now why I could not study well because of that reason, okay? Okay, now, where I was. Okay, I was saying this is so when that's why I look for religion also, because I couldn't study well, and I don't know what I should do. And I somehow, not because I want to ask, do religion give me a comfort, tell me what to do, but I just thought maybe they would give me some answer that show me where I should do, what should I do, So that's for the reason why I was, being a Christian, being this, and then later on, then I be a Buddhist. Okay. Okay. I just want to say this example actually, even when I was a Buddhist, I always very suspicious of many things. Like they mentioned about so many things, I always do not believe it. I just thought, okay, this is, it might be a story, or might be because this is, fit to a certain culture, or what, This is how I convince myself to believe that. But of course, I always love Buddhism later on because I think it sounds more logical to me. Okay? Now, this is actually still contradictory to what the Buddha say also. Contradictory to the Buddha saying. Now, what the Buddha asked them to say that, it is good that you don't, you have doubt. It is also correct that you have this confusion. But then the Buddha started to first say, you have to put aside, firstly, what you mostly, in India in those days, you have to learn by heart, like you recite something, you keep on reciting something. The Buddha said, you have to keep aside what is that you're often reciting. And then you also have to keep aside whatever that traditionally passed down, like in India, they traditionally passed down something. I'm sure in all countries the same. They have the traditional passed down some knowledge, some religious view. So that's what the traditional passed down one generation to one generation, especially like in Indian people. And when I say Indian, I mean, this red Indian in America, right? And then the Buddha also asked them, besides that, also have to keep aside what everybody was agreed to upon. So that say we agree upon a certain thing, that this is maybe good for our village, right? There might be a ritual or belief, that's agreed upon. So the Buddha also asked them to put that aside. And the Buddha even asked them to put aside what we think that, this is a holy text, and that is a holy text. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one, something that sounds like logic, that's logically arguable, it sound logical. And the sixth one actually is something much more than a logic, almost like, mathematics. You have a logic, but you could prove that with the logic, and then it comes right to the right answer. 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But I'm sure those who learn math very well, they know 1 + 1 = 2 is also a kind of, okay, I don't have to argue here. But I want to say that's how we set this kind of measurement, okay, this way. Now, that's the 6th one, and the 7th one, I'm not going to explain too much of that. So, the 7th one, the Buddha will say something that use your rational, you could make the judgment, it sounds like right, you know. And then 8th one, actually, it's that, you know, somebody have fixed the idea. For example, a certain religion, you know, whatever thing happen is because of will of the God, right? And that's, I live in a Muslim country. This is how my Muslim friend always say, everything is God will, everything is God will, right? They have fixed the idea. And of course, beside that, maybe everything is science will, I don't know, science no will. Everything is science, also a kind of fixed idea, right? And the number 9 is also like the people telling you, maybe he's eloquent, you know, some people are very famous speaker, you know, because you believe that, oh, you see, so many people worship that person because he's such a famous speaker, he must be correct, right? The Buddha asked him to put that aside also. And the last one, and then you don't say, oh, because he's my teacher, so I just have to believe. Okay. Now, that's a question comes along. If the Buddha say that, you know, if that people get confused, but I think this is really interesting. He asked them to put that aside, all aside. Imagine, you know, the people suddenly, when you put this aside, it means any holy man comes to tell you, you know, I'm the right one, you're the wrong one. The other people are wrong. So, you know, it doesn't apply to that kind of person, right? All right. What is important to the next one? But then, of course, then the people get confused. So if I don't have all this, what can we do? What we have to believe? We have to be a person who is full of suspicious, a person who is full of doubt. I'm sure that if we talk this thing to, especially in a certain extremist, you know, in religion, they really hate me, I think. But it's not me, okay? I have a text. You read the text itself. I want to say this, man. So people will, of course, find this as confusion. But I think the important is what next. Then the Buddha say, you know, then the Buddha asked first, do you agree that, you know, a holy person, a good person, should be the person without hatred, without ignorance, and without attachment? Do you agree that? And they agree. And do you agree? A good person should be there, right there. Okay. At least a good person knows that is important. Okay, right? And then the next question is, then the Buddha say, then if you agree with that, and unless they don't agree, if they agree with that, then the next thing you have to understand, according to the text, okay, that you must know how to discern what is a good, what is a bad. Can you do that? Can you do that? You cannot? Maybe yes, maybe no, okay, fine. But at least, you know, you somehow know that you can make judgment. When I say judgment, I mean you can make judgment to know what is good, what is bad, right? Maybe not necessarily your judgment always right, but you can make the judgment. Am I right? So, yeah. Say that if I now say that, you know, you all stupid guy, why you sit here? Do you think I'm good or bad? Okay. So, if I say, you know, all of you are so nice, you're trying to be good, you know, and sitting here, is it good or bad? Huh? Could be bad. Oh, I see. Let me see what is the only thing that will be good. You are all a wise person, wiser than me. But anyway, that shows one thing. You don't know what is good, but you know what is bad, right? Now, so that's a good thing. No. At least you know what is bad. You don't know what is good, but you know what is bad. Now, actually, this is interesting. The Buddha didn't stop there also. The Buddha just say that, we must be able to discern what is good and what is bad. So at least now you can discern what is bad, because bad for me and bad for you, right? You definitely know that. Now then the Buddha continues to say, if the person continue to develop their loving kindness, okay, towards the other people, without the loving kindness, without the hatred, without the anxiety, without this, what we call this, regret or resentment, okay, and without this anger in the mind. And they can even produce or nourish this kind of loving kindness to one person, to two persons, to all the people, to one direction, to two directions, to four directions, to five directions, to six directions, to everywhere. So, and that person will always live in that very peaceful and happy life. Okay. And then he said the same thing for compassion, the same thing for the sympathetic joy, the same thing for what? The same thing for equanimity. In other words, that's how actually the Buddha, I'm almost done the text already. It's so very simple, okay? Then the Buddha said that if the people, if they can develop that, then they will definitely, later they will understand, what is the main thing in the religion. Do you agree with me? I don't know. But now when you practice this, you started to actually, and this is how you start to look for in Buddhist understanding called the Dharma. The Dharma is not because I believe a what. It's not because such a text say. It's not just because basically somebody say that convincingly or because of what. Because if you do it, you find it, you know it, and you know actually what is a right, what is a wrong. Okay. So that's the reason why in religion we do have a lot of this problem, I guess. In religion also, yeah, religious is good for people, but then there are people who can misuse of religion because they don't learn through this, what at least the Buddhas say, to discern what is good and what is bad. Not because you believe in anything, it's just because you discern what is good and bad, and also develop this four kind of mind, the loving kindness, the compassion. So maybe in general English, you say, when you have love and compassion, and there are lots of evil things would never happen to you, right? And that's the thing, same thing. This is actually also why I like to teach this meditation. This meditation, some people say, Bande or teacher, why you want to teach this meditation? Because firstly, it's not very popular. It's not very, now it started to become popular, I don't know why, okay? It wasn't really popular. When everybody hear about this meditation, just thought, like a sissy meditation, maybe. May you be very happy, doesn't sound very macho, right? And also, actually, don't laugh, I did think that way also. When I start to do meditation, and my teacher, first I learned anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing, and the second meditation object was the visualizing the Buddha, And I had to, do that almost 10 days just to recollect the Buddha. I think altogether for me 7 days, like Bhagawa, Arahan, Samma Sambuddha, like that. I had to meditate on that whole day. And he said why I have to meditate on that, because I was young, and I was just 21 years old, and he doesn't want me, forget about the Buddha and disrobe and follow after the woman, That was the second meditation object I learned, okay? And then the third, actually, my teacher would taught me about this loving kindness meditation. And I never thought, I didn't understand what they are. But after when I realized, that is mean in Chinese called 慈悲. What it is to practice this, it never come into my mind. Because we just thought this is like a language, right? 你要有慈悲啊, you must have the compassion, you must have the compassion. Right? That's what, I never thought it would be meditation. That's why very hard for me at first. I always fight, And I just thought like, look, do I look like a woman, And there's so many funny ideas comes to your mind. I don't know whether it happened to you. Do you? No? Oh, it's good, So, okay. So, anyway, now, and actually not only that, even after when I learned this technique, I put that aside also. Because I thought this is too soft. It doesn't show, it doesn't look like me. And my mom knew me, okay? You can ask me. I was very stubborn guy, If he asked me to do something, I say no and always no. There's no way say yes. And I easily get angry. I would just like, get angry to show my face. Sometimes I do have this still. I carry this kind of trait with me, okay? Since I was a child. Now, the thing it is, the funny part is that I even learned it, and after I thought this is just like a method, I can use it. Okay, I can see the image, nice, and then I can move on because I want to move on. I don't want to practice this. I think I did say this story in the past, but anyway, I want to speak that again if you hear this story. I was not until actually when I started to go to England, before I go to England, I realized that I might be wrong. In those days, even I taught in the 2 colleges, in Taiwan. I was a monk who's very strict. I don't think you can recognize me like me. Now I always smiling, try to smile at least. In those days, I'm like this. If they have question, what? You don't understand that kind of question? Why don't you read? I sometimes still carry this trait with me if I'm not happy, okay? But I always like that, and I think that is good because that's how a monk's supposed to be. That means the monk's supposed to be like, very focused. Or everything is empty. I don't see you. Okay. Anyway, and then later, and I actually good that because the more when I start to teach and I find the students they like my class, but they are so afraid of me. And sometimes I go to ask them, do you have any question? They were so scared. And I somehow think, I'm a nice person. Why are you so scared of me? And of course, I must really, think something. Why they scared of me? And I always go down, do you have any question? Do you want me to help you? Everybody's just scared of me. And but later on they know me, they still be friends with me, but later on they're honest to me. They said, sometimes you look very friendly, but sometimes you look really, really angry. Like very, not angry, like a stern, solemn, like really like almost like my eyes like a knife. I can cut your head off all the time. So, and that's until one day actually I went to a house. Of course I knew that. They told me already, I don't care. I just thought, okay, so that's me, it's fine. But only one day when I went to a house, and then anyway, I met 2 old couple there. And when I saw the 2 old couple, because I knew them, I was like very happy, oh, how are you doing? And these 2 old couple were so scared looking at me like, like they don't know whether to have to sit or have to stand, but just feel so afraid, And I didn't understand, what did I do for them? Did I really, hurt them in the past? So I asked actually their relative, asked him. I asked her actually, I said, what happened with them? Why are they so scared of me? I just say bye-bye and say hi, but they were just like, yeah, bye, hi. No. And I asked why. And they say, but she was nice. She said, can I tell you something? I said, well, of course, you tell me. She said, everybody knows you are very smart. That means you have a lot of Buddhist knowledge. And then people think that you might be a good practitioner. But because you are not very friendly, so people are so afraid of you. And I really think, really? I'm so nice. How can they be afraid of me? What is wrong with me? I'm always nice. My mind is, I never want to hurt people. So this is I defend. But then after when I say 2 words or 3 words, and I realized, there's no use to talk about this, so I just stopped. At least I have my mindfulness, okay? Stop, And Don't be too judgmental. Don't be too assured of myself. Now, this is one part, and I start to think now, what to do? What happened with me? There must be something that, if the people don't like me, there's something that, not that they hate me, not that they think I'm a bad person, and the people find me is not friendly enough, not approachable, there must be something to do with me, you know. And now, I want to say this is also, of course, it's good that I have my life experience when I was in England. You know, I had to be really like, I leave the monastery. I don't stay in the monastery, basically. And I don't have the protection from the monastery. I had to be really like naked hands, right? I had to learn how to do the job myself, how to cook. I never learned cooking. And then I have to learn how to stay in the university to talk to the people. And I also have to learn how to talk to my supervisor and teacher. Yeah, I can easily talk to my supervisor and teacher because I have a teacher in the monastery. And then I need to learn to talk to everybody on the street because people saw me, oh, you're the monk, can I ask you a question, you know. Sometimes they talk something, maybe 1 hour, I was just, what? But I think still smiling, you know, because they are foreigner. And you cannot expect them to respect you, can you? You know, and you don't want to lose the face of the Buddhism. You cannot show, no, go away, you know. You cannot do that. Maybe if you're in a monastery, you can do that, go away. I don't care, you know, and the people think, okay, oh, Bande, I go, you know. But in England, you cannot do that, you know. And also, I believe, of course, I have a belief also, the English people is very polite. I cannot lose my politeness also, right? And that's why I try to be very more polite than them. Yes, of course. You know, my heart was burning. Sometimes I'm not very happy because the way they talk, what nonsense you're talking about. But I still had to smile. Oh, you are right, you know, you're correct. Now, actually, that really helped me. Because I have to change my style to trick the people. Oh, you're right, you're correct, you're right, you're correct. Actually, if in the past, I always say, stop, enough, don't talk nonsense, go away. I couldn't do that. And this is how I must learn the way, because I feel I'm not happy. And then I start to question my practice, actually. But even though I learn practice, but why I can be such a protective to myself, okay? And of course, then I do my meditation, and I started to find, I know something already. At least I know one reason I want to share you. Sometimes why I want to put the people far away from me, not actually because I know many things, it's because I don't know many things. I'm afraid my weakness will expose to people, right? When the people ask me a question I don't know, I feel shy, right? Oh, I'm a monk, I'm supposed to know that, but how can I don't know? So, and this is actually, it's not easy. You know that reason, but you want to really solve that, it's not easy. That's how my mind was fighting and fighting. Until, of course, sometimes it's good to teach, okay? There was a time I was invited to go to London, anyway, to give a meditation. And then, as usual, I just teach the mindfulness of breathing. And when I teach that, and I found, actually, people practice that, but they are very stubborn. I ask them, don't do that, they just still want to do that. Don't do that, they still want to do that. And then I somehow see that, even though he's much more stubborn than I, but I also have a similarity to that person. Not very much different. So, maybe the difference is I think I know more, but I'm still stubborn in certain things that I still don't know how to do. Then I thought, what can I help him? Help these people. And I saw, actually there's a way. I remember, I learned this. Do loving kindness. Forget about yourself, right? And if you have anything, just say, may I be free from enmity, anxiety, you know, may I be happy. And then when you see the people, may you be well and happy. And then visualize the people, may they wish the people well and happy. And as I start to thought, maybe that help. And then I force that person to do the meditation. You should do this. Of course, good that because he believes I'm a teacher, okay? So he listened afterward. And in practice, you can see change completely. He was like this. I asked him, he got, oh, master, I got headache. Why you got headache? I was so focused. I say, relax, don't focus that much. Can you pull a little hard, deep there? No, so good, so focused. Headache. You have to tell half hours to tell you it is good. But you told me that, and at the end he say, you told me that this is good. But why you want me to put that aside now? And I don't know how to answer. They're right? So anyway, that's why I say practice the other thing. Actually, when I ask him to practice loving kindness, at first he think, why I should practice this? But then later on I say, this is good, better. And this is better, so he practice and he changed, at least he feel smiling, joy. And then when he smile, when he started to feel relaxed, you just discuss the thing with him. You can talk over the thing easily. And this is how I think I need to bring this back to my practice also. Anyway, I just give a little short story to say, when I change this thing, then I start to recognize and start to remember whenever I go in many places, in meditation center, in a Buddhist monastery, or I know the people who practice meditation, in a family, you do face these people. Actually, I met a lot, at least to me. I don't know whether all of you have met this. There are people who learn either Zen meditation or either Anapanasati meditation or any meditation. When they learn this meditation, they go back home, they practice very well. Some people have arranged special room for meditation, right? But when the children I witnessed few times, even in London, there was a time I went to a house. He invited me to go to a house, and I was stay there overnight, okay? And the guy, he loved meditation. Every day he would sit there almost 1 or 2 hours. And I explained, how you should do meditation, but it's fine. He has his way of meditation. What shocked me is when I was talking to his wife and his kid, he has a son and a daughter. I think maybe that time 10 years old or 8, 9. And the son was like, the children is like that, they're naughty. And he saw the father was sitting there, and especially with the guests here like me, and they were just like, going around with the father, and the father would open the eyes, like shouting with the children, And I was really shocked, because it's very hard for me to imagine you meditate, and then, what are you doing here? It's really hard for me to imagine this, He was really like, then I think I can understand somehow later is, especially when I'm there, he lost his face, he's a good meditator, and then the son is going around, and he lost his face because the son misbehavior, and he grabbed the son, clothes even, and almost want to hit the son. And I was stopping, hey, and I took the son away. Okay, and this is actually really shocking me, and I think, that time actually at that night when I was sleeping there, my mind was full of suddenly I almost like reading a novel, full of the story that comes to me, because actually in the past I see many families in this way and that way, or some people practice Buddhism. They become very serious. And actually sometimes, unfortunately, they sometimes can be very mean to the families also, right? And that's why really I was thinking, actually, to be honest, that night I was really sad because I was starting to think, what is really Buddhism? It is what Buddhism teaches? Is that, of course I think so many things, like being a monk, being this, being that. I was thinking, what is really Buddhism? Do we have to be like that? Is that when you practice Buddhism, you will be like this, okay? Now, this is why we're back to this text, okay? Now, when I read this text again, I don't want to talk too much sorry now. There are so many things going on later. But I just want to say, when you read the text and then you understand, actually, it's very simple at first, down to earth, when you learn to be a good person. In other words, mean to be a religious person or to be even a Buddhist especially. First, learn how to be a good person. Okay? And how you can be a good person? It's not because what you believe. It's not because you want to mean to others. Not because you want to hurt yourself also. Okay? It is all because you can be having this such a joyful. If you be a good person, you must be a happy person, right? A good person should be the happy person. And a happy person also should always caring about the other person. Yeah, maybe I don't have much time to help to do, but I will say, I'm sorry, I'm busy, I have my work to do, you know. So always with that kind of perspective. They always have the loving kindness. When the people are joyful, you are joyful. When the people are sad, you always wish the people to be out of the sadness. Just like you don't want to be in a sad situation and bad situation, right? When the people are in normal state, you just always wish them to be well and happy, right? And also, of course, you also must have the wisdom to understand why the people are like this, why the world is like this. This is what we call it equanimity meditation, okay? So, and this is actually is one of the very important method or teachings in Buddhism that actually bring back to what I understand Buddhism. Otherwise, I would still think Buddhism like scattered away. Like there's a good, but there's extreme, and cannot understand. But what is actually tied them all together? I guess, like the Buddha told in this text, it is this force of life abiding. Okay? So please do not think that practice this force of life abiding become a sissy person. Okay, actually, there's lots of simile there also. Say that the more when you develop your mind will be soft like a sponge. Anything you can absorb, anything want to destroy you, you have this kind of flexibility to push it back. Now I also like to say a few simile before I need to say about meditation, and then we end this talk. There was a time actually also I like to tell a story, but I will leave it for tomorrow. But I like to say the simile from the story also. The Buddha say, some people are so funny. They want to spend their life, they say, I'm using my plow, is it called plow? 铲子叫什么? Shovel? Yeah, shovel, and then I need to plow. The earth become empty. This is not possible, right? Actually, that it's a simile mean you try something foolishly. You think that, I want to do this, and then I will solve the problem. It doesn't. Because when you shovel the earth, you put it one side, the earth is still there. You put the other side, the earth is still there. The same thing also like the people say, I have the torch of the fire. With the torch of fire, I want to dry the river. That is also a kind of, futile attempt, right? The futile attempt. And the same thing as when the people say, I have the color powder, and those say you use a color powder, and I have the color powder, and I can mix with the water, and I want to draw the picture on the sky. You can never do that. That's impossible. But then the Buddha actually say, why when you use this simile? He want to say that you can do that, rather than you use this torch to dry the river, you just have to let the river flow, that can benefit for many people. That means actually refer to the force of life abiding mind. That means the loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. If you want to draw the pictures on the sky, actually you can use this four kind of mind, mental mind, to draw any pictures on the sky. Do you know what does it mean? Just like when you do meditation, at least, if your mind is beautiful, everything you can draw on the sky is beautiful. Okay, we don't have the beautiful mind. We have to just develop it. Don't just try and use other, useless way. The same thing. When this kind of beautiful mind become consolidated, become stable, it will like what? Just like, a kind of, in those days they use a cat skin maybe. And at least the text say the cat skin. After they have did something with the cat skin, even though how much you use this spear, trying to poke on the cat skin always flapping around on the floor. It would not be broken by the spear when people trying to hit the cat skin, right? So in other words, meaning when your force of life abiding mind develops so well, so your mind will become so flexible that no worry, no any problem will come to you, right? Because you become very flexible. You don't just fight with the people in such a way, right? You always, just like a sponge, maybe easy to say that, you can absorb it, and then also you will not be hurt by yourself. Okay? So actually, you can say that this is also a beginning of the day to study Buddhism, or it's beginning of the day to learn to practice religion. Okay, so imagine right now when you're doing meditation here. Did I mention any Buddhist text say you should believe that? No, I just asked you to practice, and then you see how they are, whether that's good for you or not good for you, right? Whether that makes you more happier or not, whether that helps your health or your spirit or not. So if everybody practice this, I'm sure everyone knows. Even they have this mind to think that they should develop this. Do you think we have so much problem? I mean, definitely the problem will reduce quite a lot, right? Even though sometimes I want to hurt other people, mind comes, I know, this is not a good one because I suffer, the people suffer. It doesn't work well with when I want you just to be happy and nice and good, right? If everybody can think that way, even any Buddhist monastery or the society, the family, I'm sure, I have to say, that will be better and better and better. And you find that when the more you practice, you become very truthful to yourself. If I lie, I say, I'm sorry I lied because why I lie. If I'm not happy, I say, I'm sorry, I was angry. But I cannot, I was just really, I can't help it. I was just really like, it's too much for me, so I get angry. You would not say, no, I'm never angry, I'm good. That's the problem is whenever I say, are you not happy? No, I'm happy. Why you say I'm not happy? So, if you ask me, say, Dhammadipa, I'm not happy. Yeah, today I had a bad food, so I didn't eat well, so I would just say yes. I don't pretend, just come automatically. Yes, I'm like that. But of course, I also know how to speak sensible in a sensible way also. So this is the reason why, practice this force of non-abiding actually I would say is a begin, at least to my experience. Actually, now you're lucky, I guess. At least somebody give you a point. I'm not saying that you should believe me 100%, but I give you at least the direction to look at, is it true in your whole life? What is actually so far, okay? What you should really do is everybody deserves the happiness in their life, right? And actually, people looking for the happiness, but there are so many times they forget they can look for the happiness here. Okay, and there's one. And second, when you look for the happiness here, when you're happy, you find that actually you can be much, much helpful to everybody, right? When the people are sad, your mind is still stable. When the people are joyful, you're still joyful with them. When the people are in normal stage, you always just wish them to be well and happy. And I think even taken as a human, even though of course in Buddhist belief this is a divine mind, as a human, so we must actually develop this. Either become a divine kind of being, divine mind, or either just become a full good person, right? Now, last word I want to say before I'm talking about the meditation technique, give me a few minutes to talk about technique. I want to say last word, before I forget, is the Buddha always believed this, saying this. So, if you are not happy, you can never make people happy. I always remember that. So, and this word actually is very, very helpful for me also, for my way. So, basically, if you don't love yourself, actually the word, I think the Buddha didn't say happy, sorry, say the word love. If you don't love yourself, you can never love the other person, okay? So, and this is actually one of the important also statement that when you practice this technique, and actually it's one of the very important statement, I would say it's a universal statement for all religion, okay? Okay, right. So tomorrow, try working harder, okay? Now there were a few questions. Actually, I think lots of people have this experience. When your mind is softer, actually people are scared of this kind of people, right? You don't know? I know that there were several times. Anyway, I don't want to mention which country. I was in a certain country. And then, anyway, people trying to make some trouble to me. So actually, that time I was just like, what do you want to do? Actually, I was smiling. I don't scare. And actually, people was like, they were scared. They are the gangster, basically. But they are scared. Because I was just smiling, what do you want to do? And because they see you're so calm, and they thought you might be, have a good background, whatever. I don't know. Right? If only you, yes, please. And then, of course, you'll be in problem. So, no, actually, this is one thing. And second is also, if the more you practice, if you are always a loving kindness mind, you saw the snake, may you be well and happy. I don't know the tiger when it comes out, it will be. I never seen the tiger. But I definitely know in the past when I practice, when the snake come by, may you be happy. The snake go by, may you be happy. Might be because I somehow know I'm not stepping on a snake, I'm fine, But I think if the tiger come to eat me, I don't know yet. I cannot tell anyway. But to my rational now, I think if the tiger come to eat me, might be really hungry, my life, that's it, I don't know whether I might be still struggle. Okay. Anyway, okay. Now, there are few things about meditation in case, okay. Now, even in the first 2 days here, we do meditation. We are trying doing a meditation on the individual, from the dearest person to the stranger, okay. And actually, we should be doing the meditation up to the hostile person to the most hostile person. But since the time reason, we are going to do that only when we practice compassion meditation. So the step is the same, but we can arrange time to practice in compassion meditation. That's called what we call the individual practice. And then we also meditate on a group of people, might be 2, 3, 4, 5, a group of people. And then you expand your vision of the group of people from single to wider to many and many. Okay. Sometimes you maybe could do it this way, sometimes you can do it this way. We also, at least this afternoon, we meditate on the direction, and then possibly that you feel the whole direction, infinitely just full of their loving kindness, and wish everyone in the whole universe be well and happy. Right? So the question is actually, this is what we are doing here, because I want you who been practiced this before, they can practice that again. Then you find you can be more understandable or more stabilized on your practice. And the other is that for the beginner, for the first time who learn this, then you have to learn the method. Because in normal day, when you go back to society in normal day, or when you're at home you want to practice, you can pick up and need to practice. Okay? Or if you have time, you can practice the whole thing. If you really have this energy and you can value of this important, how important of this for your life, and then you can practice the whole thing. If you practice the whole thing, sometime when you finish all, maybe it takes you almost 1.5 hours, even 2 hours, right? But if not, you just practice any particular. So, I want to say this is, you don't have to ask me in the Q&A again, so how should I practice? Actually, no. We are teaching this to you just to ask you to learn the whole important format, So you just comprehend that, Whether you can practice good or not, you need more exercising then. And also very important to understand, because tomorrow we're going to practice compassion. I'm not going to explain this anymore. So important is when you practice this technique, always remember you always have the object. Okay, the object always, even if yourself is here, or visualize your own smiling face, or the people, or the group of people, or the direction. You always have the object. And the object is always sentient beings, okay? You don't meditate on this gong, may you be happy, okay? You always have the sentient being, at least, unless it's a spirit there, I don't know, okay? Oh, spirit, you'll be happy. So otherwise, the gong spirit. So otherwise, you have to always meditate with the people. With the sentient beings, with the living things. Okay. And also, not only just an object. For this technique, there's a little difficult, but once you get used to, in the future, whatever meditation technique you're learning, especially for the samadhi technique, it's not very hard, become easier for you. So the other thing you need to do is that object and then the maker. Okay, basically we translate maybe the object maker. That means the energy. Okay, you have to also know the energy. Okay, both ways go together. So, but however, while you're practicing, sometimes some people are good at visualizing the object. Some people are good at taking care of the energy. And if you're good at taking care of the energy, taking care of energy. Okay, so that means your loving kindness mind. If you know that, if you can able to let your loving kindness mind stay uninterruptedly, so let it stay uninterruptedly. Okay, that was the main point. Okay, and also very important doing meditation, trying to remember, sometimes always remember the 5 hindrances. I mean, if you have a desire, oh, I should be like this, I want to be that, I must be like this. This is kind of, you have a strong desire. Try to avoid that. Okay. Of course, since you practice loving kindness meditation, or even compassion, or even joy in day after tomorrow, or equanimity, or so on. So supposedly you don't have anger with you. So the second hindrance is easier to go away. Okay, but the third one, sleepiness, sometimes can come to you. So always try to alert yourself not to be sleepiness. What is the best way to avoid yourself being sleepiness and without knowing it? If you can check your mind, still there's a kind of loving kindness mind still flow, and then you know, yeah, okay. That's how you keep your alertness. And I forgot to mention this also, when you practice, I need to mention that if the person, when you practice, arouse you sexually, put that person aside. Okay, it's not a proper object for your meditation. Okay. And maybe the last thing, I should give you a little break and we do the transfer marriage. The last thing I want to say is when your legs still pain, when your body still feel discomfort, be a brave person. Just relax and stay with your meditation. You know, sometimes think in this way, just like if you can, you know, sometimes when you sit on a chair, maybe not totally very comfortable like now. If now I have opened the TV, big one screen, with the exciting movie, you forget that already. Okay? Only when there's all this fighting going on, I don't know what kind of movie you like to watch. Horror movie, and you're scared. And the end was scaring, oh, my leg is so pain. I forget. I was scared too much. Okay, you don't know. So, but that show that actually this show tell you something. That means when your leg was feeling discomfort, it is always there. It's not because of meditation, okay? But you know, how come you just, when you pay so much attention, you forget it? Yeah, because your attention is there, you forget your physical body. This is one thing. But the goodness of meditation is more than that. Because meditation, if you do meditation, when you have a deeper meditation, actually not only you forget about the physical pain, but you also helping to cure or to heal your physical body, right? Why not? Why are you so scared about? I don't know. I still don't get it. You know, if you're so scared, next time when you go to see a movie, you know, every 2 minutes walk, sit, 2 minutes walk and sit. So it is not. It is just all the trick of your mind. Okay, to try to understand that. Just relax and relax. You know, that's what you can do, and then do your meditation, and then it's helping you. Okay, right. Then I'm sure that the next few days you will definitely enjoy your meditation. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your laughing. So, you know, I'd rather to see a Buddhist smiling than pulling your face. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much, and we should have 10 minutes break. You know, if you want to go restroom, and come back to do the transfer and marriage. All right. Thanks. Sugar.